There's talk of burning all the XRP that is currently in escrow. Currently, about 5,000 XRP are burned every day, which is about 1.825 million a year. However, there are growing concerns that this rate is going to go up, and some people have even said that up to 25,000 XRP are being burned every day. This is said to be connected to Ripple's escrow accounts, which is very interesting. A former director of Ripple has said that the company might burn all the XRP that is in escrow at once, which makes the situation more serious. There seems to be more than just talk about how likely it is that this will happen. So it's even more interesting that this is happening at the same time that Ripple Labs says it will buy back almost $1 billion, 0 cents worth of XRP from the market. A lot of people have different ideas about what this buyback and the possible escrow burn could have to do with Ripple's deal with the SEC. Ripple needs to buy back XRP because it still needs it. This kind of trust burn has huge effects. If all of Ripple's XRP were burned, each coin could become worth $10,000, 0 cents. This is because, according to my study, Ripple Labs is making more and more partnerships and needs XRP to support these partnerships. I believe that for the business to stay open and grow, each XRP might need to be worth $10,000, 0 cents. Hello, Helpcoin family. Welcome back to the XRP resource you know and trust. Before we get to today's show, let's do a few things. Please click the like button to join our lively group. Also, make sure that notifications are turned on. Now, hold on. There's something exciting about to happen. When we reach 60,000 members, we'll be giving away a huge amount of XRP. There are only 3 things you need to do to make sure you get into the giveaway. Be ready and leave a hash money sign in the comments. Many papers agree with this and say that XRP will reach $10,000, 0 cents because Ripple works with payment systems in other countries. This is a huge increase in the value of XRP. It is not only possible, but it might even be necessary as Ripple's partnerships around the world grow and rely on XRP. XRP's growth has been nothing short of exponential, and new public and private reports show that it is spreading around the world. One study from BlackRock shows that they want to use XRP to send money between countries. The most important parts of this report were released to show how XRP is becoming a globalized cross-payment service. Ireland's central bank recently said they want to use XRP for cross-border transactions, which has only boosted this trend. As a payment method, XRP is now officially recognized as safe and reliable. This also means that Ripple, the company that created XRP, is now a company that is established to offer virtual assets. As a result, the Global Central Bank of Japan has begun to use XRP for their global banking systems, and this is part of a larger trend in which over 30 central banks are now working together to create a digital currency for central banks based on the XRP system. 19 of these central banks are said to have bought XRP worth a total of over $9.4 billion, 0 cents. This number doesn't even include the possibility that the FedNow instant payment service will start using XRP. It was leaked that the FedNow fast payment platform is thinking about using XRP for the blockchain part of their payment system. This change shows that people are becoming more aware of it is becoming more and more clear that XRP's technology can be used in current financial applications. The U.S. Federal Reserve should take full control of XRP and Ripple Labs. This is a big change in the financial world. Instead of building a standard digital currency for the central bank, not many people will be able to buy XRP because it works well, doesn't cost much, and is good for the environment. The Federal Reserve wants to use the RippleNet system, which uses the XRP ledger and digital asset. This is especially helpful because major central banks in over 8 countries, including the BRICS nations, have already teamed up with Ripple Labs to use the Ripple Labs system and the and the XRP ledger. The Federal Reserve has said that XRP and XLM could play a big part in the blockchain part of their FedNow payment system. This shows that they are serious about working with blockchain technology. In one of their stories, they talk about how FedNow services worked with Metal for quick changes between fiat currency and stablecoins. Blockchain is a big step towards combining traditional banking with decentralized finance. Right now, US citizens can only make fast payments within the country using third-party apps like Venmo and PayPal or cryptocurrency wallets. But the FedNow system that is being built has plans to include cryptocurrencies in its structure, and over 120 companies have signed up to use it. Some of them are banks like US Bank and Exchange Bank, as well as payment processors and solution providers. With Ripple possibly being added to the FedNow service, this list could grow. The world of digital banking is about to change in a big way. One of the fintech companies being considered for this project is Ripple, which is known for its open source distributed ledger technology and smart cross-buts. Stellar Lumen's XLM, which is known for its blockchain-based payment network that speeds up and lowers the cost of international transfers, is also on the list of possible partners for the Fed. Now, this brings us back to the two main things we were talking about: how likely it is that XRP will soon reach $10,000 0 cent, and how likely it is that Ripple will burn a lot of XRP lab store. The planned burning of a lot of XRP from Ripple's lockup could be what drives the price of XRP to its expected $10,000 0 cents level. Both of these events will happen at the same time and will be big steps forward for the XRP digital asset. A former director of Ripple, Matt Hamilton, said that the company could burn all the XRP in its escrow wallet, which has made this belief even stronger. This is especially important news because Ripple is still in court with the SEC. A burn could be part of a settlement deal. This has a lot of effects. A huge drop in the supply of XRP could make its price go up to $10,000 0 cents. A lot of people would also want to buy XRP because of this. More and more institutional buyers want to use digital assets like XRP for cross-border payments. This would cause a big drop in the amount of XRP that is available, making each coin worth a lot. It's amazing how many deals XRP will be able to handle. There are over $120 0 cents quadrillion worth of transactions that the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, ISWS, handles every year. Because of the large number and value of these transactions, each XRP must be worth $10,000 0 cents. This piece nicely sums up the size, and it's clear that XRP wants to enable transactions in the ISDA worth more than $120 0 cents quadrillion. But that's only half the story. This number doesn't even include other big players, and that XRP is going to make a difference. There is no mention of the news that Swift could use XRP for payments. SPI wants to use XRP for more transfers in Southeast Asia, or the fact that BlackRock and JP Morgan have begun buying over 7.5 million XRP nipples.